There are no coverings, pure soul is there. But that soul, when he leaves that world and comes here, the soul shrinks to a very tiny portion. And then when he's seated in the body, he's like a spark only in this body. Then he goes to sleep. He doesn't do any activity. Then the material nature, three gunas of Durga Devi take over. So we are seated in this body, the soul is seated, he only desires. Just like imagine if your hands, legs are tied, you want ice cream, you have to say ice cream. Only that somebody will come and give you. You can't do anything, you don't do anything. Everything is controlled by Durga here in this world. We express our desires, and if you are deserving, it is provided to you. So that's why it's very, very tiny spark in this world. And why the soul is like this in a shrunk portion? Because the soul is meant for rendering service to the Lord. But most people in this world are not serving the Lord. Therefore the soul is inactive in that sense. But rather what he is doing is they are active, their bodies, hands and legs are moving by the conduction of the three gunas. Rajaguna, Tamaguna, Sattva. But the moment the soul contacts devotees and you start reading Gita and then you want to take to spiritual life and practice spiritual life, then the soul gradually unfolds. And it unfolds to a full-blown form. That is called Siddha Deha, we call it. So right now, when you are chanting Hare Krishna, it's called Sadhana Deha. And then when it comes to full-blown form, spiritual form, that's called Siddha Deha. And then you go back to Godhead. So when you are in a shrunk portion in this world, to tell about how tiny it is and insignificant it is, therefore it is said, but otherwise the soul is called Aprameya. It is immeasurable. Now coming to the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the first verse Arjuna asked, Evam satati yukta ye bhaktas pam paryapasate ye chapyaksharam abhyaktam tesham ke yoga vittama. He's asking, there are two people I have seen Krishna in this world. One person is your devotee bhakta with great affection for you and respect for you and devotion to you. They are chanting Hare Krishna and dancing in kirtans and then studying the books about you and discussing leelas about you and everything. There's one category called bhaktas. Another category of people I have seen are people Om, Om, like that chanting Om, or they are chanting Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Om Shanti Shanti. That's what they want. That's another category. Impersonalism. So those people are thinking God is impersonal, ultimately He has no form, and we have to just go and merge in that impersonal oneness. And all the different forms of gods you see, they are all manifestations of that one impersonal. Like that they are thinking. Out of the two, whose worship you recognize and which is greatest? Next verse, Krishna says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Mayyavisya mano ye mam nitya yukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetas te me yukta tamamataha. My dear Krishna, my dear Arjuna, Mayyavisya mano ye mam, those people who are attached to my form of Krishna, nitya yukta upasate, daily they worship me by chanting the holy name and offering puja for me and engaged always, not only in the morning time, even in the daytime, even they are always thinking of how to engage in my service. Nitya yukta upasate. Shraddhaya, with great transcendental faith. Paraya upetas, they have a transcendental faith in me. Te me yukta tamamataha, they are the best out of the two, like that he says. And then he says, Yet paksharam anirdeshyam abhyaktam paryapasate sarvatra kamachintyam ta kutam cha achalam dhruvam samniyam yendriya gramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha te prapunvanti mameva sarva bhuta hiterata. So then he is saying, on the other hand, the impersonalists, they control their senses, control their mind, they chant Om, and then they try to figure out God by their own endeavors, speculative. They study Upanishads, they study Vedanta, and they understand that we are not the body, we are not the mind, neti process they adopt. At last they come to understanding we are the soul, but they end up doing one mistake. They think the soul is God, they think like that. But after Bahunam Janmanamante, Jnanavanma Prapadyate. With what understanding? Vasudeva Sarvamati. That's like, any of you want to know what is nose. Somebody shows you, this is a nose. But somebody says, how can it be so simple? I'll figure out where is nose. Is the nose? No. No, is the nose? No. Is it the nose? No. At last, after 1,000 lifetimes, now I found the nose. That's how Jnani is fine. Bhaktas find nose like this. Because the Guru tells this is a no, they accept the no. But Jnanis go in roundabout way, at last they come to the same conclusion. So, what bhaktas get easily by a simple method of chanting and everything, they get the same after many lifetimes. Because the speculation comes to a halt at that time. Then they find him, like that he says. So both of them obtain Krishna. Not that bhaktas, are highest. Bhaktas are highest, but what do they obtain? They obtain Krishna ultimately. Like if you see, one simple example I'll give you. Indian government called Sarkar, correct no? Sarkar is Nirakar, correct no? Whereas behind the Nirakar Sarkar, there is Pradhan Mantri who is not Nirakar. He has a form, correct no? So, therefore when you chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, when you utter this mantra, Om means impersonal absolute. That's like Sarkar, is Nirakar. And Namo means I salute. Bhagavate, what is Bhagavan? Anybody knows? Bhaga means what? Opulences. 6 opulences. That means, just like we say Krishna has 6 opulences, the God with 6 opulences, when you say who are they, it can be Vishnu, it can be Ram, it can be Krishna, anybody. It just says the person with 6 opulences. Similarly, when you say Om means like impersonal government, and Bhaga, when you say, it's like Prime Minister with his opulences. Correct? Now Prime Minister has many opulences. Like for example, our Prime Minister can declare a holiday for the whole country on his birthday. Can he or not? He can. No. Can we do that? We can do that, but nobody will listen. Correct? No? He has that opulence power. Correct? No? So Bhagavate and Vasudevaya, when you say, that is like Narendra Modi name. Correct? No? Because name is specifically mentioned. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Bhagavan, when you say, that is only talking about the God with opulences. But when you say Krishna or Vasudeva, it specifically mentions the name. So, those, like imagine an ordinate, where we are in negative axis now. Take Buddhists, they go to Nirvana. Take our Jains, they also want to cross the wheel of samsara. They also go to 0-0. Buddhists go to 0-0. And impersonalists like Shankarites, Vedantists, they also go to 0-0. But there's a difference. Now Buddha only said, desire is the root cause of all evil. Get rid of desires. They smell the stinking dead body and all that they do to get rid of the desires. Get rid of lust. So, Brahman Dego, Brahman Bolo, Brahman Suno. Like 3 monkeys. They are only negating the negative. Buddhists. Jains also are very much in torturing the body. You see, they plug the hair with their hands only, that they put some ashes and they plug the hair. They put a patti in the mouth also. They walk barefoot also. A lot of austerities. In Jainism, you will see, if you become a monk, you can never see the parents. They are very strict. That's why parents cry also a lot whenever a lady or a man becomes monk in Jainism. So it's very austere type of religion. There's Buddhism also, very strict Buddhism also. So now Buddhism, Jainism, they are all trying to go from the negative axis to 0-0. And the impersonalists, they are like Shankara, for example. Buddha said, get rid of all desires. Shankara said, yes, you have to get rid of desires, but Nirvana means it's not like a Shunya or 0. The God is there, but he is impersonal. So then he talked about Brahman. So that is a positive addition based on the Vedas that he taught. And they go to Brahma Jyoti, where they get Shanti. And then those who are Bhaktas, they go beyond 0-0 to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha planets, where the Lord is personally present, where you can see Him face to face, just like we all are seeing each other. You can see Him, you can connect with Him in one of the relationships, like you can be a servant, or you can be a friend, or you can become a father or a mother, or you can be a lover and beloved relationship. 5 rasas, correct now? Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, like that. So, it depends on which one you want. Like Jnanis go to Brahma Jyoti. Yogis go to Vaikuntha, where they have reverential master-servant relation in Vaikuntha. And Bhaktas, they enter into Goloka, where they have these 5 relationships. So where do you want to go? You want to go, like for example, all population of India, they connect only with Sarkar. So impossible Brahman. It's like that. They can't meet the Prime Minister. Then some people become MLAs, MPs, they meet the Prime Minister in Parliament. Correct now. And the Prime Minister's relatives, like his mother, brother, sister, they meet him at home. So out of the three, who is most intimate? Who? Family. Now, for example, if you ask any of you, what sabji Narendra Modi likes the most, who will know? Huh? Either he has to tell us or family has to tell. Can we know it? Only intimate people. Can MPs and MLAs know it? I can, because that much intimacy is not there in that relation. So, that means Krishna consciousness, chanting Hare Krishna, gives you opportunity to enter into spiritual world and connect with God very personally. You understand? No? And the Vaikuntha relationship is master-servant relation. And Brahmajit relation is Shanti. Humko aaram karne do bas. But no birth and death, that's all. I want to relax 0, that's all. They have no positive relationship. Like imagine I call one of you and pinch all over your face. And you are screaming, hey, why are you doing? And I say, okay, go and sit now. I will not pinch you, I will not trouble you. Have I given you happiness? What I have given you? I have given you relief. Similarly, I was a negative access. Pinch the Bible. Birth old age, this is that. Birth old age, this is that. I am being pinched and Jiva is crying. Oh, I want to. Aham Brahmasmi. Then he goes to 0. Okay, this will not pinch you anymore. Is it happiness? What is it? Relief from the cycle of birth and death. But there is no positive happiness. On the other hand, imagine I call one of you and give you a vati with 4 gulab jamun floating in a golden liquid with a spoon. I give you. Then I am giving you happiness. That is positive access. So, impersonalism, Buddhism, Jainism, all are negating the negative. Baramat ego, Baramat suna, Baramat go. That like that. But Krishna consciousness means positive. Where we are saying, why to close your eyes? Look at the beautiful deities of Krishna. Why to close your ears? Hear the lectures. Hear the kirtans. Why to shut your mouth? Eat prasadam. Also speak about Krishna. Chant the holy names. God has given you senses. Use them in the Lord's service. Therefore it is very, very sakaratmak, not nakaratmak. This is one thing that deeply touched me. Because I gone to a dozen organizations before coming to ISKCON. The first I went to Ramakrishna Mission, then I went to Chinmaya Mission, then I went to Ramana Maharshi, I went to Divine Life Society, Shivananda, many organizations. Not just to go and, buy books and come. I met many Swamis also personally. I spent many hours with many of them. I found that many are teaching us moksha, going to 0, by negating the negative. I wasn't very impressed. And also, that is talking about our own moksha. But when I came to ISKCON, Prabhupada taught that we should live in the heart of the city and go to the suffering souls by doing Harinam Sankirtan. We should distribute prasadam, we should distribute the spiritual literature, reach out to the homes of people, companies, schools, colleges. I was deeply impressed with this. I said, I don't want to go back to Godhead alone. I want to take 1,000 people at least with us. That was one thing I was very much appreciative. Another thing, I saw that in ISKCON they teach us how to engage the senses. Like our children in Pune put up a song, I use my eyes to see Krishna, see Krishna, see Krishna. I use my eyes to see him, like that. So they will do actions also. Children, I use my ears to hear about Krishna, like that. I use my mouth to speak about Krishna. I use my legs to walk to the temple, like that. I use my hands to cleanse the temple. So all our senses can be used. So much so, even a sexual organ can be used for begetting children and raising them in Krishna consciousness. If a boy gets married to a girl, they both become devotees. They unite and produce baby. That is also Krishna consciousness. It's said in Bhagavad Gita. How amazing it is. People generally consider sex life as a dirty thing. No. Even that can be sanctified. If that can be sanctified, what else cannot be sanctified? Isn't it? So it's a very beautiful path. It's a very wholesome path. In Karma Yoga, you use only the senses. In Jnana Yoga, you use the mind to speculate. In Ashtanga Yoga, you use the intelligence to focus. And in Bhakti Yoga, you lose your heart to Krishna. Give your heart to Krishna. So, which is the wholesome path. Because when heart is given to God, then your intelligence, mind, senses all run with the heart. Correct or not? See, if any of you imagine, your heart ran after somebody, along with the heart, your intelligence, mind, senses will run or not. Correct, no? Therefore, Bhakti is the wholesome path. All other paths are partial paths. They all are incomplete paths. Bhakti path is a full, wholesome path. So in this way we can understand that therefore we don't criticize Buddhists or Jains or anybody. We see that they are on the way. They have gone, they are ready to go up to 0, 0. Now somebody has to tell them how to go ahead from there. They are certainly better than the masses of people who are simply gratifying their senses foolishly, suffering in this world. But somebody has to escort them. You know Gaur Gopal Prabhu? Gaur Gopal Prabhu is from Jain family. So when I was in Pune, there is one place called Nidi Krishna Temple. I was having a book table distributing books. This Gaur Gopal Prabhu was a student of COEP college. So he came there and he purchased some books. Then I had called him to the Kunjiberi temple in Pune, Radheshyam temple. So he came, I had given him an assignment to write an article on vegetarianism. He said, Prabhuji, this topic I like very much. He said, because I come from a Jain family. They are very strict about these things. So he wrote an article. Then he called me to his home, and there was in Shabarimala, this Ayyappa temple. So he said he is a youth leader, he and one Ramananda Prabhu, two of them. So he said, we can arrange a nice program for you. So they had arranged a very good program. Almost like 240 people, 240 people were there. The whole temple hall was full. So I gave a lecture on life after death, science of reincarnation. So he and his friend were the main coordinator. They were boys, youth leaders there. After that, everybody was given. So his father came, Gaurup's father came here. Swamiji, this is, dangerous. Today I came to know that, a human being can become an animal also. In the next life, he can become a plant. So he said, this is very frightening. I said, this is not for getting frightened. This is for becoming alert. Because Krishna says, Sad Asad Yoni Janmasu. You can get a Sad Yoni or you can get Asad Yoni. So in that, many people picked up very nicely. His house was in Dehu Road in those days. After that, he read Bhagavad Gita and many of the people. Very intelligent boy, very sharp. He must have done a lot in the previous life. So he picked up very fast. Then he got a job in Bombay. And later on, he dedicated his life and joined the Bombay Temple in Chowpatty, Grant Road. He joined. But why I was telling this, you will see that if you ask him, he will tell you. He was coming from Jain. He was very strict Jain. So he understood that this is only taking me to 0, 0. So he has seen Jain path, he has seen Krishna conscious path. So he has spoken to many of the Jains also. He has compared the both and he has told them. Now he is chanting 16 rounds. He is following 4 relative principles. He is a devotee in the temple and he is also doing and propagating message to the whole world. You can see that. So in this way, our Krishna consciousness teaches you to see this path in relation to many other paths also. You can take a snapshot of the different religious paths. Because every religion says, where am I now? Where do I have to go? And what path I should take? What troubles will come? And how to troubleshoot them? And ultimately, after I reach there, what experience will I get? Every religion talks about these 5 things. So when I heard about Krishna consciousness, I was deeply impressed with this. Because the only aspiration is loving service to the Lord. No material motivation. And also the pastimes of the Lord are very colorful, very amazing, thrilling. How the Lord deals with his devotees. Very amazing. So I will just show one very beautiful song. You'll be amazed. This is Yashoda Maya, Yashoda. Says that if I make the butter and keep it, this fellow will spoil it. So I'll keep it in the top. She's keeping it in the top. English, you can see the word. He's climbing with all the pyramid he's making with his friends. He's climbing and he's giving to monkeys, he's giving to other friends also. Mother has come now, he's running away. The butter is sticking on her feet. She's saying Krishna's color is bluish, like a bluish cloud, and those who sing his glories, he comes and resides in their heart. His residence is the heart of his devotees. So she's saying Yashoda had many friends, elderly gopis. So Krishna would, they all would bring many items. Somebody would bring bundi, somebody would bring makan, somebody would bring kadishakar and all that. So Krishna would sing song and dance and please them and then borrow everything from them and eat. You saw that? See, the neighborhood gopi was putting a rangoli. So Krishna goes to her and tells her, "Hey, can you sing for me Mukhari Rag?" He's asking. And she's saying, "Oh, I know many ragas, that raga I don't know." She says. Then he gives her a pinch. And she cried, She said, Mukhari Raga is like this only. So, in this way, so he performs very playful pastimes. In this way, there are many, many pastimes. Pastimes are hundreds and thousands of pastimes. So those who cross the 0-0 and connect with the Lord in a personal relationship, they get the opportunity to interact with Him. In this world also, why are you studying, why are you working? Ultimately, we all want to connect with somebody in love. You want to please your mother, you want to please your father. And in that loving relationship, we experience the greatest joy in this world. Otherwise, life has no meaning. Simply money doesn't please you. A job doesn't please you, a car doesn't please you. See, even if you take commodities, any commodity you buy, that pleases you only because you are going to gift it to somebody. You will see that. It is in relation to somebody. Why you like mobile? Because you can connect with somebody, correct now? If you can't connect with somebody, then what is the use of mobile in this world? So these are good thoughts. It's getting late for all of you also. Thank you very much for your time. And Abhishek Prabhu told me that he reads with, he has been reading Bhagavad Gita with many of you, and then after that others are also now having reading groups and all nowadays. Very good habit it is. Because Gita reading will, it's like switching on a tube light in the dark room. Everything becomes crystal clear, you can see things as they are. Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita commentaries are the best. And Radheshyam Prabhu also shared with me the kind of festivals he has done in IISc, Ram Navami and other festivals. He showed us the report. Very wonderful. We know that all of you are super busy, your life is super busy, and the challenges are many. But still we are coming here because this is very important for you. This cannot be compromised. See, IIT Madras boys are committing suicide because they don't have this knowledge. If they have this knowledge, why will they commit suicide? 4 boys in 3 months. Why will they do that? Therefore, reaching this knowledge is very, very important. And my feeling is you all can reach this knowledge to your friends better than us also. Because we are in this dress, there are a lot of limitations for us. But you can give this knowledge to your friends more easily. Every one of you sitting here, you have a Swabandhu Mandal, we call it. Swabandhu Mandal means like people living in the same lane, same wing of your hostel. And also boys sitting in your same bench in the college. That is another set of boys you have. And boys who are striking strong relationship with you as a friend. That is the third circle. Correct, no? That means your thick friend circle, boys in the same classroom, boys in the same wing in the hostel. So to these people, if you invite them for programs, festivals, or ask them to take a Prabhupada's book, you will do a very great service. You will do. So in this way, we want to reach to hundreds and thousands of youths and children all over the world and give them the right values. Then India will be able to spread this glory of spiritual, value to the whole world. Otherwise, the world is in a very dangerous position. Because India is a spiritual capital. Gulf, you can only give oil. Germany can give only machines. Switzerland can give only watches, isn't it? They don't have any great thing to give. But India has spiritual wisdom. And who will give it? All of you have to give it. You have to take it. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dhanvat Pranam. It was an enlightening talk, Prabhu. I have just a quick question. Prabhuji, you were telling mainly take over from, just a quick question, Prabhu. Take over from your talk is mainly how to broaden our consciousness.
Correct.
And
purify the mind.
Purify the mind.
Yes, and transform the heart.
Yes, Prabhu, transform the heart. Prabhu, my question is, Prabhu, mainly, love is all about how I serve Lord and devotees. Prabhu, but in place, Prabhu, workspace, in general, Prabhu, people lack character and they try and lack character and they're running for things very materially. So, and if we look for how to serve, we'll
be exploited.
We get exploited. How to deal with this type of situations. And one more thing, Prabhu, first question. And second, Prabhu, and in village side and all, if you go, grandparents, if you cross the ocean, they tell you have did biggest pap and you don't go there. And is it really a sin, Prabhu? That's what my question.
See, there are three ways of behaving: aggressive, assertive and passive, we call it. Once Narada Muni had a snake as a disciple, but the snake became a very humble snake. So the boys who were playing in the village, they were all stoning the snake. And the snake got a lot of bruises in his body. And the snake came crying to Narada and said, Naradaji, ever since I became a devotee, everybody is bossing over me, beating me up. Look at my situation now. Narada said, you see my dear snake, see, you should not bite people with your poisonous tooth and kill them. That is very bad. But it is all right if you hiss, he said. Because if you hiss, the boys will run away, right now. So you can be careful, he said. So next time the snake got all the bruises repaired, and he became all right. When he went, the boys again came to stone him. Like that he did, the boys ran away. So that is called assertive behavior. Aggressive means the snake biting the boys. Passive means the snake letting the boys beat him with stones. And assertive means, you let them be peaceful and you be peaceful. Like for example, aggressive means I break your tooth. Passive means I allow you to break my tooth. And assertive means I allow you to keep your tooth, I keep my tooth. So we have to know the assertive speech, assertive behavior in this world. Don't cheat, don't get cheated. That's a very important workplace. Because all living, see, we know there is an Atma in the body of tiger also. Do you go and embrace the tiger? We know that we keep a pussycat in your lap, but you don't keep a tiger. Similarly, while dealing with the world, we should apply the truths of the Gita, but in a very intelligent manner, in an assertive manner, I would say. The second question, yes, it is true that Shastras say, when you cross the oceans and go, there are dog eaters, there are cow flesh eaters, and there are cannibals also. Shastras give information about that. Already there, even before man discovered America and man discovered many places, Shastras are giving information about all this. Which place exists where, and what type of people. Like Mongolia, people eat dogs. Shastras say that. Even today they are eating. In that place if you go. Shastra says, you go to this locality, they eat this. Shastra say, exactly, it's true. Chinese people that they mention, Kashadaya, what type of people. Shastra says that Chinese people have snake noodles and cockroach roast and like that. Shastras say that. They eat these things. Even today they are eating that. So the Shastra is saying that don't cross the ocean means what? Don't go to those places and associate with dirty people. Then your character will become polluted. Shastra say that. On the other hand, for example, like you all know, Pandavas would play kabaddi with Kauravas sometimes. So when Bhima would go, there are two lines, you know that in kabaddi. First line you cross and then you go beyond that. People will catch you by the ties and lift you up, correct, no? But for Bhima, they couldn't do that. Bhima was very strong. So many Kauravas would jump on his shoulders and legs and thighs and then he would take a U-turn and walk back. All of them in his body. Like that, Srila Prabhupada went to America. So many boys, girls became attracted to him. And he brought a dozen of them to India in 1972. You know, he's like Bhima, so mighty. Prabhupada didn't get polluted when he went to America. Rather, he purified them and brought them to India. Not only did he brought them, he repeatedly went around the globe 14 times in 12 years. And he purified the whole globe with more than 100 books, propagating the holy name and making the devotees. See, if you see this 2 minutes video on Prabhupada, you can see this one. You can actually connect that one.